What is Asha's, the biggest investment of Asha Bhosle's life? And how did Tai earn money from here alongside singing? When the news spread on Sunday morning that Asha Bhosle was no more, it was not just the news of a singer's death. It felt as if an entire flowing river of Indian music had suddenly come to a halt. That voice, which at times came alive on the radio as love, at times as pain, at times as mischief, and at times with such freshness that generations kept changing but its impact never faded. That very voice fell silent forever at the age of 92. And this is where a deep turn comes in this story. Because Asha Tai's life was not just the story of melodies. It was also the story of a woman who, in a world where she was once paid less than her elder sister, built a separate identity for herself, and then alongside singing, made such a move in the world of business that her name began to be discussed not only in music, but also in money and brand value. In April 12th, 2026, the news of her passing was reported by Reuters, AP, and other major outlets, and along with that, this question returned once again among people. What exactly is Asha's, and why is this investment considered so significant? Asha Bhosle's story was never easy from the beginning. Born on the 8th of September 1933, Asha Thai saw a musical environment from childhood, but life placed her in the middle of struggle very early. After the death of her father, Dinanath Mangeshkar, financial pressure on the family increased, and then from a very young age, singing stopped being just an art and became a responsibility. In the decades that followed, she did not just sing Hindi film music, she gave it many shades. Classical, ghazal, folk, pop, cabaret, Western-flavored compositions, romantic tracks, dance numbers, devotional pieces. There was hardly any shade on which she did not leave her mark. That is why her career is considered to have stretched across nearly 8 decades, and different reports say the number of her recorded songs crossed 11,000 to 12,000. In 2011, Guinness World Records had also recognized her as the most recorded artist. Her achievements did not remain limited only to popular songs. She received the Dada Saheb Phalke Award, was honored with the Padma Vibhushan, and her name became recorded in India's cultural memory almost like an institution. These honors are also mentioned in government and other prestigious sources. But the interesting thing is that for someone whose name carried such massive achievements, her financial story was not built only on awards. Fame gave her recognition, but a big part of wealth creation came from the smartness she showed outside the music industry. This is where Asha enters the picture. And this is where the story stops feeling like a simple obituary and begins to look like a business case study. Now go back for a moment to that era when Lata Mangeshkar's dominance in the Hindi film industry was so overwhelming that she was often the first choice of producers and composers. At that time, Asha Bhosle did get work, but she was often given songs that were seen as less prestigious or of a different kind. Many media reports and industry narratives have repeated that in her early years, she was paid far less compared to Lata ji. Some reports have even said that she was given only around 20% of Lata Mangeshkar's fee. This figure is not proven like an audited financial record, but this claim appears again and again in industry lore and many contemporary reports. And this was the phase that did not break Asha Thai, but made her different. She turned those very songs into her strength, which others saw as secondary. And slowly, those very fewer opportunities became her biggest USP. Many people always connect wealth directly with income, but Asha Bhosle's story shows that brand value, adaptability, and timing matter just as much. She did not just sing songs, she turned her name into a feeling. That is why when she stepped into the food business, people could not dismiss it as a celebrity hobby. The restaurant brand named Asha's became an extension of her personality. It was not just a chain built by lending her name. The official Asha's site clearly says in its story that the brand was created with the intention of taking authentic Indian flavors to the world stage in the form of a refined fine dining experience. Asha's positioned itself as a blend of warmth, sophistication, and premium Indian cuisine, and that positioning became its commercial strength. Asha's is said to have begun in Dubai in 2002, and then slowly the brand expanded across the Gulf and the UK. According to the official restaurant story, it had a presence across 14 locations and 5 countries, including the UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, and the UK. Some media reports specifically mention outlets in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Bahrain, Kuwait, and the UK. In other words, this did not remain a symbolic celebrity outlet, but developed like a structured international chain. That is why if someone asks what was the biggest investment of Asha Bhosle's life, then along with music rights and stage shows, the name Asha's comes forward very strongly. Because this investment was not just about money, it was a mix of her personal identity, culinary interest, and global brand conversion. What makes Asha special is not only its international expansion, but its story. Many reports say that Asha Thai genuinely loved cooking. The brand's public storytelling also says that her connection was not just an endorsement-based one, but tied to the cultural idea of flavors, recipes, and presentation. A singer who captured different emotions with her voice, saw the same kind of nuance in food too. That is why Asha's was built as a premium Indian cuisine brand, not merely as a nostalgia restaurant. In the food business, the hardest thing is to build consistency and an aspirational image. Asha's achieved both, and that became the core of its commercial success. This is where it becomes important to understand that celebrity businesses usually work for two reasons. First, initial curiosity, and second, long-term quality. Curiosity can launch any celebrity name, but running a chain for more than 2 decades says something entirely different. The official story of Asha's mentions 22 years, which shows the longevity of this business. For an artist, it is a big thing that their name moves from entertainment into hospitality and continues to hold respect there as well. In India, many celebrities launched brands, but very few have had brands that built a lasting identity even after going into other countries. Seen from that angle, Asha's was not just side income, but a legacy business. Now we come to the question the public asks the most. How much wealth did Asha Bhosle leave behind? Here, one thing needs to be understood very clearly. The net worth figures that circulate in the media are not audited public filings. Different reports give different estimates. Some reports place her net worth at around 100 crore, while some coverage estimates it between 200 crore and 250 crore. Her wealth is believed to have come from singing income, live performances, royalties, brand value, the restaurant business, and real estate holdings. Speaking of real estate, reports repeatedly mention properties in Mumbai and Pune. Her residence at Prabhu Kunj on Pedder Road had become almost a part of her public identity, and some recent reports place the value of her real estate holdings between 80 crore and 100 crore. But here too, the same caution is necessary. These numbers are media-based estimates, not officially disclosed asset statements. Even so, one thing is clear. Asha Tai did not just spend her career earnings, she turned them into assets. And that is the real game of wealth preservation. Music fame may be temporary, but property and brand equity shape wealth over the long term. And perhaps that is why her story feels not just like a story of talent, but also one of financial maturity. Perhaps the most inspiring part of Asha Bhosle's economic journey is that she began in the shadow of comparison and ended her career in the light of individuality. If in the beginning she was seen as Lataji's younger sister, later that same industry began to see her as a one and only voice of her own kind. This change did not come only from art, but from positioning. She embraced those songs which others considered risky or unconventional. And that same courage was later visible in business too. If a singer had remained limited only to singing, perhaps she would have become a cultural icon, but not a business icon. But Asha's proved that even personal taste can become a commercial empire if there is vision behind it. It is also interesting that public memory often remembers artists only through their songs, but real legacy is built in layers. Asha Tai's first layer is obviously music. Thousands of songs, many languages, many generations, and a versatility that perhaps very few artists could show on that scale. The second layer is awards and national honors. The third layer is cultural recall, that voice which is instantly recognizable. And the fourth layer is wealth creation, visible through ventures like Asha's and through property investments. It is this combination that makes her rare. Many people are great singers. Some people are rich too, but very few people are able to convert their art so smoothly into brand and business. When an artist dies, people often ask what they have left behind. In Asha Bhosle's case, the answer cannot be only how much wealth. She left behind songs, stories, style, courage, an example of reinvention, and also the example of how personal passion can be turned into serious business. Today, the moment one hears the name Asha's, one does not remember only a restaurant. It feels like a statement that it is possible to become a star outside the stage too, that a name earned through art, if deployed the right way, can turn into an international asset. Perhaps that is her biggest financial lesson as well. And then the most emotional thing is this, that the woman whose voice decorated the small and big moments of crores of lives also filled her own life, not just with emotional richness, but with economic strength as well. She proved that a woman artist, and that too from her generation, can be remembered not only as a performing icon, but also as an independent wealth creator. This is a very big lesson for today's creators, singers, influencers, and artists. Turning fame into business, taking a brand beyond geography, and turning earnings into assets. These all sound like startup language today, but Asha Tai had already lived them in her life decades ago. So if someone asks today what Asha's is, the answer is not just that it is a restaurant chain. Asha's is actually the name of Asha Bhosle's foresight, which turned the respect earned through melodies into taste, hospitality, and global branding. It was perhaps the most visible business investment of her life, one that established her not only as a legendary singer, but also as a successful entrepreneur. And if someone asks what she left behind, the answer would be, yes, wealth worth crores too, but something far bigger than that. A legacy that carries voice, vision, and such an example of value creation that in the years to come it will teach artists not just how to sing, but how to understand the power of their own name. Asha Tai is gone, but her music will remain in the air, and her business sense will remain like a silent lesson for future generations.
This video has taught you something new, or if you feel this information should reach more people, don't forget to like and share the video. Your small share can become valuable and useful information for someone else.
If you have any questions related to this topic, or if you would like to share your opinion with us, be sure to write in the comment box. We read every question and suggestion from you because your feedback inspires us to create better content. And if you want to keep receiving such interesting and reliable information about business, the economy, and the world in the future, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel GRT Business and also press the bell icon so that you get notifications of every new video directly. At GRT Business, we always strive to provide you with accurate, balanced, and reliable information. Our news and analysis are prepared based on information obtained from various news agencies, public sources, and public opinion. We make every effort to verify and validate each fact as much as possible. But in case of any possible error or dispute, the responsibility lies with the respective sources. Our only aim is to present you with a correct and trustworthy perspective so that you can understand any topic better.